Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps a lot. And also keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. All right, folks, today we're going to take a look at Jumia. Jumia I've covered before, but somebody did request it in a comment in a previous video, and so I thought I would jump in and cover it again. I myself have some long positions in Jumia. I think it has a potential to be a big company, but obviously there's a lot of challenges that come with what they're trying to build. And but anyway, let's get into the chart. Oh, and I should mention that if you have a ticker that you would like to see me cover, feel free to drop the ticker symbol in the comments below. Please just do the ticker symbol, not the company name. And remind me if I don't reply to you and say that I've got it on the list. Just remind me in a few days and refresh the comment essentially and get it back to the top of the queue. All right, so Jumia, a couple of things here. So obviously you see this nice run up and then this big pullback. And one thing that's sort of been happening since, say, about mid-May is volume has just been pretty lackadaisical. There hasn't been a ton of uptick in volume and not even really blips that are jumping up quite significantly above average volume. Certainly nothing like the buying frenzy that we saw back here toward the end of 2020. And from that area, I thought it would make sense at this point to draw out a couple of strong zones that we saw. And I'll show you what I'm aligning these two here in a moment. So if we look at these two zones, and this isn't me thinking that necessarily Jumia is going to go here. Oh, I didn't even see this area, but these line up quite well. So we see this 1949 previous strong topping out area, right? It topped out and just didn't want to approach 20 at that point, and then finally had exhausted all the selling pressure there, and potentially there was catalyst, good news, who knows what, but it blew through it pretty strongly right here and then set up shop for support right on it with this candlestick. And then when it came back down, it tested it there and was able to try to push off, and then it consolidated and tried to hold it and recently fell through, and now it's accumulating right along that line again. So I'm not just pointing out because that's exactly where it is today, but this is just to say it's a very, very strong zone, as is that 1454, which hopefully we don't need. Like I said, I'm long Jumia at the moment, so I'm hoping that we don't need that. But establishing support over this zone is pretty critical, and this could be a good opportunity for a push off. Now, I don't know if we will develop an uptrend here. Obviously, we've been in a longer term downtrend at the moment, but if we can establish along this trend line, that would get us that support, and then we might make some pretty significant moves over the course of a few days or weeks that get us on more of a solid footing, I guess is a way to think about it. This zone is another strong one to me. Resistance, supports, resistance, supports. And so 24.47, just before we approach $25, could be the next opportunity to get up there, especially if it continues to walk itself up this trend line. But this is very, very young, and this is less than a month that it's just retesting that trend line. So it's just developing. It may not really develop at all. That could fall apart immediately. But the MACD also looks like it's losing some steam, but it's still sitting well below the baseline, so that could certainly pop off and continue a push up, but we'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see how much of a challenge it has trying to get over this, what is the exact 1949 resistance level that it's sort of stuck at right now. We do see also, though, that co-CEO Jeremy Hodera buys 50K shares, so we do have some insider buying, so that could signify that there's something coming up, something down the line that maybe the public's just not aware of. It may not signify that at all, but just maybe something to watch or keep your eye on. Now, if I toss in the MAs here, just so we can have a look, the other critical thing here is Jumia is sitting just below now this 20 MA. in the purple, and has consistently resisted or been met with resistance with that yellow 50 MA. So that would be the next most critical thing, is if it can get supports off this trend line and at that current resistance level, that should allow it to pop itself up over the 20, and then the question is, can the 20 carry it through the 50? But it may need to literally start swooping up. They are closing in on each other, so they're getting closer and closer together and giving them an opportunity to try to cross over. So we'll see if that happens also in the coming days, but that could provide a nice boost in the price action if that happens. Now, on the analyst side of things, not many buy recommendations coming in, mostly holds, but still closer to a $30 price target there, so almost a 50% return potential, as you can see. It looks like Ortex has not registered this buy yet from the insiders, but so it goes. On the short interest side of things, really, really high. So Ortex is estimating today almost 30% of the free float is being shorted. Utilization, there's still a long way to go. So if they wanted to ramp up the shorting in this one, they certainly could. And the cost to borrow is next to nothing. So things kind of stacked in favor of the short sellers in this one at the moment. But if Jumia can start to turn it around and walk, like I said, even just walk itself up this green trend line, that could put enough pressure on those shorts to just want to pack up and look for something else. But the big problem with them packing up and moving on, this cost to borrow is just so low. It's almost worth it for them to just pile on more, probably for the time being, than to pack up and go home. But we'll have to see what happens. I don't necessarily always guesstimate correctly the psychology of a short seller. So, but something to keep an eye on for sure, because it is so high. So it's definitely adding selling pressure to the stock. But like I said, we'll see if there's a catalyst coming from that insider buy. Could mean nothing, could mean something, but set your alerts or keep an eye on it, whatever works for you, and just something to make note of. Well, good luck if you're in Jumia like me. Wishing myself good luck, and I appreciate you watching. I will see you in the next video.